Good morning. It is Friday, just past 9 o'clock, and we have a local author here in studio. Mr. Matthew Daniels is going to be sharing everything that he has going on. We're going to be learning his story, where he grew up, and some of the things that led to the writing of this book. A couple things I want to share before we get into this interview is that the birthday ball is tonight at Butler's Courtyard. This is benefiting the Birthday Joy program. I have the honor to help MC that event. I'm very excited. If you have not heard about the Birthday Joy program, what they do is they throw birthday parties for kids who are in care of the government. They live in group homes. They don't usually have a birthday party at all because of the situations that they're in. So the Birthday Joy program comes in and throws birthday parties for these kids. If you want to support them, you can attend the birthday ball tonight. I think there may be a couple tickets left. They may have added tables. If you want to just donate, that's an option as well. So thank you for taking the time. If you're watching on social media, feel free to share this video out. Let me know what you got going on today. Maybe you have some plans for the weekend. If you're going back and listening on this podcast, you can always send me a text, 346-704-1806. Let me know that you are subscribed to KHEA Radio's podcast on Apple, or you are subscribed on Spotify. So let's get into this. We got Mr. Matthew Daniels here in studio sharing about everything he has going on. What's up, Matthew? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. So can you go back and tell me, when was the first time we met? And I remember the event, but there was a lot of people out there. So do you remember the first time that we ran into each other?
Yes, I do. It was actually this past year at the Lamar Juneteenth Festival that they had over by the library right in Lamar.
Yeah.
And I remember that I was invited by one of my friends. They told me about the event, and they asked me if I wanted to be a volunteer. They said that they had a lot of things going on and they needed an extra set of hands. And I'm the type of person, whenever I can, whenever I'm available, whenever I'm not at work or don't have prior engagements with my family, if I can help out in the community, I don't mind helping out in the community. So I volunteered at the Juneteenth Festival, and that's actually when I found out that we actually had a radio station here in Lamar, because you guys were out here. You and what's the other guy's name?
Kurt was out there.
Yeah, Kurt was out there. And I remember you guys were going around with the cameras, and I asked a few people. I was like, man, who are these guys out here filming?
Yeah.
And then they told me about the radio station that we had out here. And I just want to say real quick, it was a great event. If you missed the Juneteenth Festival that happened in Lamarck this past year, make sure you find out about the next one that's coming up in the year 2020, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be bigger and greater than the last one.
Yeah, I had my kids out there. My wife was out there. My parents were out there. It was a great time. They had bounce houses.
Mm-hmm.
There was food trucks and the vendors, and there was performances by some of the local students at the schools and maybe churches, and there was all kinds of people out there. It was a great time just to get together with the community, and I think that's important, especially with city officials, police officers, your neighbors, maybe people that you grew up with and don't talk to anymore. Just with everyone, being from this area. Do you think that's important, just to get together with there's all kinds of different people there, and just kind of communicating together and just hanging out?
Yes. One of the things that I did like about it was the Juneteenth Festival, and individuals that are familiar with the history, the Juneteenth Festival is in commemoration of the enslaved Africans acquiring their freedom here in this area and here in America. And so one would assume that at a festival such as the Juneteenth Festival and the Juneteenth celebration, that it would only be or primarily be descendants of those African Americans that are in attendance. But there was individuals from every walk of life that came out to show their support. And I personally feel like not only in America, but in the world and in our communities, those are the types of things that we need. We need to show unity, and we need to show solidarity. And I was excited also to see several city officials actually come out, because this was one of the first celebrations that was hosted by members of the community leaders, and it wasn't actually funded by the city officials themselves. but they still saw fit to come out and show their support and help. I remember a couple of times the power went out. I guess they had too many things plugged up, too many bouncy houses going, and and speakers to play music, and I guess it was too many things plugged up at one time. So on a few occasions, the power went out and everything cut off. And instead of panicking and getting flustered and not knowing what to do, everybody came together. A couple of city officials came out and they were checking breaker boxes and seeing what they could do to get the power back on. And we were able to get the power back on, and the community was able to have a wonderful event. So I just want to say thank you to all of the city officials that were able to come out, all of the people that are in office that was able to come out and show support, and most importantly, all of the members of the community that were able to come out and show support from all different races, all different backgrounds, all different, creeds or whatever. Whenever you have an event like that in your city, in your town, it's imperative that you show support and you show unity for one another, because we live with each other. We see each other on a day-to-day basis. If we can't get along in our everyday lives, and if we can't support each other in our endeavors on a day-to-day basis, then you are going to force yourself to live in an environment that you don't want to be in.
Yeah. And nobody's happy.
Exactly.
Nobody's happy. So we were talking to Matthew Daniels. He's a local author. Can we talk a little bit about you? Where are you originally from? What was life like growing up? And I want to get to hear your story and see how you became an author. How do you even put a book out? Because I honestly do not know. So let's find out a little bit about you. Where are you from?
Okay, I'm actually from right here in Texas City. Okay, I grew up on the east side of Texas City, down by the dike, and as a child, I was basically a nerd, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell the truth. I was your typical nerd, geek, bookworm, schoolboy. I was the individual that, as opposed to wanting to play outside and go hang with friends, I was inside doing homework, reading, studying. I always had a vivid imagination. I was that guy in school, and I tell people this all the time. I was that guy in school when it was time to take a test, right? And the teacher would pass out the test to everyone. I was the individual that everybody wanted to sit next to me. You know what I mean?
Matthew, I have to ask, were you the person, if the teacher forgot to take up the homework and the bell's about to ring and you're like, excuse me, miss, you didn't take up the homework, and everybody's like, Matthew, really? Was that
yes,
you? Oh,
yes. I was the guy making hundreds on. Honestly, I didn't even have to try hard in school. That was the thing about it. I used to wonder why people always told me that I was smart. They would be like, man, you're smart, you're intelligent. You always make straight A's, and to me, it didn't really seem like I was doing anything special.
Yeah.
Because I was blessed, apparently. I was blessed with the kind of mind that I understand information pretty quickly.
Yeah. Did you have an easy time, remembering and recalling stuff?
Yes.
My wife is that way.
Yes.
I try, and I married her, and I'm hoping it rubs off on me, switching her pillow sometimes, but she has one of those, she reads something and she can just recite it back.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty cool gift. Did you have, your parents' support? You mentioned that your father, is a local reverend and pastor and has been, involved in the community as well and still is. Did you have your parents' support at that time, with being in school? Is that, maybe another thing that helped with that as well?
Yes. Just bringing up my father. Yes, my father, Reverend James Edward Daniels, he has always been, and I can't stress this enough, and he is to this day a strong pillar in my life. There is nothing that I can go and ask him for that he will deny me. Any type of help I need, he's going to be there for me. My mother is the same way. My mother actually taught me how to read and write before I ever went to school. I could read and write before I ever went to school. And I remember vividly back when I was in the first grade, and they let us out for No, I was in kindergarten, and they let us out for summer vacation. And the local library, Moore Memorial Public Library, they had a contest over the summer. And they said that if you could read over 100 books over the summer, then they were going to host a pizza party before individuals went back to school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so my mother, she would always take me to the library. I would get some books, check out some books, go home. I would read them, and then she'd take me back up to the library. I'd check them out, bring them back, and I would read them. And I was adamant about reading those 100 books so that I could get that pizza party before school went back in.
Yeah.
And so what happened was I was actually one of the individuals who actually read the 100 books, and they put it in the newspaper, right? They gave a list of the names of the children in the area who had read over 100 books. And I remember when I started in the first grade, my first grade teacher had told me that the teachers had saw the students who was able to read that many books over the summer, and they were, I guess, in a light competition, so to speak, to get those students into their classroom. And so my first grade teacher was telling me how she was glad to have me in her classroom because she felt like that
I got a good one. I
have a student that's
Yeah.
actually willing to learn. So